Whew, beautiful morning. Out here, a little chilly. My coffee, checking on the horses, and Sundance is back here. Say hello. Or don't. He's back here because he doesn't get along that well with the new girl that I thought he would get along with. I think in time they would, but I just can't be bothered. So the other thing is I'm working on this back paddock, and I'll talk about paddock maintenance pretty soon. But I thought that along with introducing you to this new horsey we've got, not Sundance, if you're new to this channel, different horse. But I would also give 3 tips on maintaining paddocks, or ideas to... Can you hear the birds? So chitty chatty. Okay, maintaining paddocks and things that you can do to make them last longer, or when you're building them or rebuilding them. First tip, put that there, is you take these mats after you've... Here, I'll go in. Coming through. See, I've been trying to fix up this paddock since the last 3 characters in here sort of wrecked it. But I put down some new gravel all in here and here and here, and fixed a bunch of holes that they'd punched through from their playing around. Now, it's certainly happy they were playing and having fun and stuff, but it takes its toll on the footing, as always. So, oh well, that's the price of boarding horses in a healthy way. So anyway, so with the new gravel, as you can see, horses love new gravel. They love it, love it, love it, love it. And the first thing they'll do is lay down and roll, and then they got to pick themselves back up. So all this stuff over here is him picking himself back up, and so it lifts it back up. I'll scrape this back over and level it. So that's another tip, maybe just a free tip of these 3 tips. But the biggest tip I want to tell you about is putting mats down where you do new material. So you can see, whereas he can wreck that stuff, when you come over here, all these mats are in place, and what they'll do is, when he goes to, well, just the weight of them alone will help, but when he goes to step on these things, he'll actually tamp this area down. So if you need to fix a hole, or you need to add some gravel somewhere and you don't want the horse to wreck it, like over there, put some mats down. They'll tamp it down really hard. I mean, it'll just turn into some really firm footing for them. So, hey, big guy. What do you think? Hi. It's getting a little sun. Everybody's getting a little sun. Well, maybe not Lena. Okay, so that's first tip. Second tip, if you do have areas in your paddock that are well traveled or well sort of worn out, I like to use logs and rocks and stuff like that to get in their way. And also to, if I don't have time, I'll put something in the way, like right here. That's why it's so soaking wet, but I'll put these rocks in the way so they don't continue to step on those spots that are compromised. So, but the logs and the rocks or barrels, it gives them something to walk around, and causes them to sort of take a different path. Let's go back under, grab my coffee. Funny it hasn't been knocked over yet. But they have to kind of go around these things. So tip number 2 for maintaining paddocks or pathways that are well traveled is stick a couple of logs in there. The other thing they'll do is they'll nibble on them a little. Here's Lena. Scritchy scratchy. So she's doing really nicely back here. I redid this paddock, so it's all cleaned up after Moon came through here and stomped around and had his good time. Now those 2 calm horses, see? Calm. No running around, jumping and causing issues. So, 2 tips right there. 1, put logs and rocks down. 2, use mats to tamp down gravel. My 3rd tip is up ahead, right next to the new horse. So let's go check her out. Beautiful morning though. Really, really nice day. Here's Sky. Hi, buddy. He's always so attentive. He wants to say hi all the time. Right? Loves cameras. Maybe not. Let's go closer. No. It's good. Some horses are actually afraid of these weird things. They come up to them and, what is that? There's Roni. Say good morning to him too. Hi, buddy. He's got his lower lip sticking out. You can see that. He always looks so cute when he's doing that. Yeah. See, he'd like to go back there and hang out with Lena. But we'll discuss that. I already talked about that briefly, but we'll get back to that. Okay, traveling on up. Morning coffee with the horses. Best coffee ever. Let's put that there. Here's baby. Hi, baby. What are you doing? Not much? I know. You're a good horse. Hey, you're a good little horse. Yeah. Who doesn't want to see a baby horse? Give some scratches. Okay, enough of that. And way over here with Luke, who's usually my ambassador for goodwill, and has turned out well in this instance too. I know she's a little dirty. I'm gonna wash her today. Okay, I gotta interrupt your regular scheduled programming for a better look at this girl, because I've given her a trim, a shampoo, and a brushings. So you can see now she's quite pretty. There, look at that face. Something more than a mother could love. So, yeah, she really came along. Looking much nicer and cleaner. So, and there's Zeus. Okay, back you go to your regular scheduled programming. There. The interesting thing is, come here, I can't reach you. Anyways, she's an appendix, just like him. So I'll let her go back to eating. Pretty cool. All right, you vagrant. The only horse in this lot that stomps on his own poo all the time. Grinds it into the ground. Right, Luke? Maniac. Urgh. Anyhow, so what? What is it? You and your ears. Here, there. You look so much cuter like that. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, she's gonna just have my usual stuff done and make sure that she's tip-top for any rider. She recently had a baby too, and so I'm gonna give her some work on the ground and in the saddle, hopefully out on the trails, just everything and anything that I think is appropriate for what? He nods his head at me like I'm supposed to give him something. You know. You want? Huh? What? You want out? Alright. Give me a couple minutes. Anyways, everything I think that should be done with a horse to make them safe, make them confident. What do you want? All these horses just want to be some kind of attention, okay? Some kind of attention. Just an adorable little thing. So good. You're so good. Except for your ears. Put them forward. Here. Blink. Alright, I won't mess with you too much. Anyhow. So there's a lot to be said for a horse that's confident, secure in their own sort of surroundings, and have been introduced to enough things that the next thing might not bother them as much if they hadn't been introduced to enough things already. So that's the idea. It's varies by horse, but the end result is that they become out far more confident. So, okay, and last tip, almost forgot. I've told this one a while back, but I'm sure it's been lost by now. If you ever have a gate, okay, so gates are built, so most farm gates have these big bolts that sort of stick through to hold on to the hinge of the gate. So what I've done here, because these things are long, I mean they're usually very long, and so what I've done, if you can see, hopefully it focuses in, is cut off the long bolt, because usually they're super long. Here, take a look at this one, right? Super long. Now it's on a post that goes parallel to the fence, right? The one thing you should do really is cut them off, but I do have a board here that protects against horses sort of knocking their nose or chin or something on that. But on these ones that stick right out into a pathway or something, I like to cut them off for one, but not just cut them off, but to protect them. And I'll put a 2x4 on the post with a hole so I can get to it if I needed to with a socket or something, but just a couple screws, but something that completely and totally stops any ability for anything, person or horse, to cut themselves on or catch themselves on it. So when my vet saw that, he was pretty impressed. He liked the idea. He says, you know, I've been to a few horses, in fact one recently, where they had cut open their side walking by it or running by it or something, and he had to stitch the thing up, and it lived, but says it's a pretty big deal. So anyhow, 3 tips. Use mats to compress and protect. Use logs and rocks and barrels and stuff, or obstacles, to have horses evade well-trodden paths to help your paddock. And last but not least, the bolt. So hopefully that helps you guys. We're gonna get into some real horsey stuff soon, but just another morning coffee with the horsies. Hopefully you enjoyed that. See you guys again soon. Bye, Luke.